السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us many times in the Quran a concept that is within the nature of Islam, within the essence of Islam. That Islam promotes this concept that you cannot have this religion without it. And this concept is community and ummah and togetherness. And it's easy for us to use the word community, that this is a community, this masjid is a community. It's easy for us to say these things. But saying that something is a community doesn't make it a community. The actions of the community, the beliefs in the community, the things that the community does together, that's what makes it a community. Right? Just as someone who claims to be Muslim but doesn't believe in the Shahada, it doesn't work. The lip service doesn't make something what it is. It has to build and fit the definition. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us a beautiful example in the Quran to inspire us to look into nature, to look into just our surrounding environments, and to see and to learn something from the animals and the trees. وَمَا مِن دَابَّةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلَا طَائِرٍ يَطِيرُ بِجَنَاحَيْهِ إِلَّا أَمْثَالُكُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that all living things, beings that are in the earth, that are roaming the earth, and specifically mentioning the birds or the flying creatures that soar and fly through the sky, those are examples, those are ummah, those are communities, those are species coming together for the greater good of just the individual. And subhanAllah, we can see this ourselves. You can look outside right now in this grass, in these trees, look just down in between the sidewalk and the cracks, and you can see a group of ants living together as community, supporting one another, feeding one another. And then you can look at the trees. You can understand and see that how each species is linked. And when you move past one set of animals or one species, as a whole, look at a jungle or forest, what happens when you cut down a large percentage of the trees in a forest? It's not just the trees that are affected, it's the entire group of living species, from the bugs to the animals, that have now lost shelter and food, and most of them die or have to move or migrate. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is alerting us to. Something so simple that we can see just in the nature around us. And from this, humans in this sense are no different. That we are also community and ummah. And when some of us suffer, the rest of us should also feel it. And when some of us are doing good and doing well and are happy, then we should also feel that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also tells us in Surah Ma'idah, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ شَدِيدُ الْعِقَابِ. So we see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala established us as communities, just like the rest of the species on earth. Then He instructs us. One of the ayahs that we hear so many times that cooperate and help and instill goodness and righteousness, promote goodness and righteousness within one another. وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. And do not cooperate, and do not help, and do not establish sin and transgression. Do not be complicit to oppression and transgression. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ. And be mindful of Allah. إِنَّ اللَّهَ شَدِيدُ الْعِقَابِ. Allah's punishment is truly severe. Goodness and righteousness incorporates all things. It's not just telling someone to pray. In fact, that might not even be it at all. but it means to promote anything that can help the quality of life of yourself, your family, your community. This is as general as it gets. As a Muslim, we are told and taught and commanded to strive to do anything that can increase the quality of life of you, your family, and your community. So this incorporates all things of goodness, from helping people, feeding people, smiling at one another, helping each other through their tough times, speaking to one another in a good manner, giving charity to one another, building things, building masjids, cleaning masjids, anything that can relate to goodness, can help someone's quality of life. This is something that you are commanded to do. To educate someone, if you're a business owner, to hire your community, hire from the Muslims. If you're a teacher, taking your time to not just teach people outside of your community, but within your community. If you have some knowledge in a field, to not just keep that to yourself, but to teach the youth, to teach the elders, teach people things that will help them in their daily life. This is ta'awanu 'ala al-birri wa taqwa. The third thing the Prophet ﷺ says in a hadith that I'll paraphrase. He gives us an example of the people who limit themselves to the halal, and they don't transgress beyond what is haram. And the Prophet ﷺ compares them to the people who don't do this. And he says, imagine a boat, and there's two levels, the upper deck and the lower deck. Imagine that they cast lots, so you pick and you get lots, and a group of the people go to the upper deck and a group go to the lower deck. And this is by chance. But imagine the people on the lower deck, they decide that when they're thirsty and they need water, that they're going to make a hole into the bottom of the boat, and they're not going to worry, and they're not going to think about what will happen to the whole boat and the rest of the people above. And this is the example of the one who does not worry about sins and transgression. It is the example of the one who does not mind anyone but themselves. They're selfish and stingy, and they're so short-minded that they can only think of this instant gratification of getting water from the bottom of the boat, which is going to what? Destroy everyone. It's not only going to kill them, but it will kill the entire boat. So what does the Prophet ﷺ say? So those on the upper deck, if they were to let the people on the bottom deck do as they wish, all of them would be destroyed. And if the people on the upper deck were to help the ones, to teach the ones, to show the ones on the lower deck, to help them show restraint, what will happen? They will all be saved together. So this hadith supports the ta'awanu 'ala al-birri wa taqwa, that this is a community matter. Trying to seek the path of the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to seek this road that we're all seeking, and we're all treading along to one day meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is as much of an individual matter as it is a community matter. You cannot seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's love completely alone. Community is how you seek it together. And of course, in Islam, there are times where it is good to be isolated, to be in Khutbah, or like in Ramadan, the Prophet ﷺ, he secluded himself in specific times. That has a place, but the absolute majority of human beings and Muslims should be not in seclusion but in community. And for those who think that being in community, being in society is a fitna, because there are some who say, well, being part of community lowers my iman because the community members are in haram and they're doing this and that. And if I join the community, then I will fall into their sins, into the sins that they do, the backbiting, etc. But this is actually a sign of weakness, because a strong Muslim, the one whose iman is strong, is able to join and help their community, but still establish their own taqwa and faith, and to stay away from the sin, while still helping their community in righteousness and goodness, even despite if their community and their family are in sin and misguidance. Psychologically, the Western perspective shows from studies that having a community is, without a doubt, a means of stress reduction, of social and mental support. And when you compare groups of people who are alone, who just live with their families, to groups of people who are ingrained into some sort of community, some sort of common identity, those people are more successful. Those people are more resilient. Those people are more happy. They have less anxiety. They have less depression. Community also gives each one of us a sense of identity and purpose. And we know that Islam alone, through the community, gives you the ultimate sense of purpose and being, which our purpose being to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to worship Him. And the last benefit from a Western perspective is when people are part of a community, it is proven to keep this person away from mental deviancy and weird sins. And in today's society, we see this so prevalent in the West, of crazy things happening, mass shootings, other sins I won't describe, that are happening because there are people in the society that are so isolated, that they live their life 24/7 online or by themselves, and they live really with the shaitan. Because they're so disconnected from human beings, from family and community, we see such bizarre sins that the human history we have not seen. And I don't need to list them, you can just open the news and read the latest thing that happened. Bizarre crimes and sins that are inhumane. And when you look at the history of the people perpetrating the crimes, you will always find that these people were by themselves. They were lonely. They were away from community. So they were with themselves, and they came up with ideas, and they shared these ideas with other people on the internet who are also secluded and lonely and away from community, until they perpetrated a bizarre crime. This self-isolation is not found in Islam. We see the opposite in Islam, that we promote to look for good community, for good friendships. We know the Prophet ﷺ told us that you will be raised, right, with the people that you love. And being part of a good community would mean that inshallah, the day of judgment, you will be raised with that community of goodness. So brothers and sisters, make your intentions to help each other, to help your families, to promote goodness, to raise each other up, to educate wherever you can, to employ people wherever you can, your community, your Muslims, the youth of the Muslims, to guide them, to mentor them. Everyone has something to offer. There's so much more that Islam teaches us about community. Just this Jum'ah, this is a Jum'ah community, praying together, remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is the ultimate action. We know that we're supposed to visit each other, that we're supposed to visit one another when a Muslim is sick. And there's so many stories of Muslims within this community. They're sick in the hospital. And the nurses and doctors in the hospital are shocked by how many people are coming to visit. They don't understand it. They see someone from Pakistan, an African American from Africa, from all parts of the world coming into the hospital to visit this random person. And they can't understand why would all of these random people visit someone in the hospital. They don't know. Many times we visit people in the hospital as Muslims, we don't even know them. This is the community in Islam that promotes goodness, promotes wealth building, and promotes giving charity to the poor. And lastly, make the intention to not do the opposite. Make your intention that you will not self-isolate yourself, that you won't sit at home and follow your own desires, and refuse to share communal responsibility. Make the intention that you will not dive and delve into arguing and dividing one another and making sex amongst your community, which what weakens the collective strength. And this is what we see today, where the Muslims are 2 billion and we cannot do a single thing to help our brothers in Palestine. We cannot do anything to help our brothers and sisters in Uyghur and every Muslim country that's suffering, but there's 2 billion of us. This is from our arguing and division, and from our leaving. تعاونوا على البر والتقوى وأقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداءك أعداء الدين. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين أجمعين. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين أجمعين. ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. ربنا اغفر لنا ولوالدينا وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم واشكروه يزدكم واستغفروه يغفر لكم واتقوه يجعل لكم من أمركم مخرجا. One of our brothers of our community, his wife, Brother Christy, his wife is in critical care in the hospital. So we make dua for her. Ya Allah, grant her a purification through this illness. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala heal her from her illness and bring her back to her normal self. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow this illness to elevate her rank and to cleanse her of her sins. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant patience to the family who is affected by her illness. Welcome to Salam.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا